What if the first message we receive from the stars isn't, "We come in peace, but you have 72 hours to surrender"? For decades, we've dreamed of first contact as humanity's greatest moment. The day we learn we're not alone. The day we join a galactic community. The day everything changes for the better. But what if we're wrong? What if the first aliens we meet didn't cross the vast emptiness of space to shake hands or share knowledge? What if they came to end us? In the next 15 minutes, we're going to explore humanity's darkest scenario, an alien invasion by a species that sees us not as potential friends, but as pests to be exterminated. And the most terrifying part, given the technology gap between us and any spacefaring civilization, our survival might depend on something we'd never expect. Let's establish a harsh truth from the start. Any species capable of reaching Earth has already won. They've mastered interstellar travel, while we've barely managed to keep a few humans alive on a space station 400 kilometers up. The technology gap isn't like arrows versus guns. It's like an ant colony versus a bulldozer. Consider what interstellar travel requires. Either they've broken the speed of light, something our physics says is impossible, or they've mastered generation ships, fusion ramjets, or antimatter engines. Each option requires energy manipulation on a scale that dwarfs our entire civilization's output. The power source propelling just one of their ships could probably vaporize continents. Dr. Seth Shostak from SETI puts it bluntly. Any aliens capable of coming here could wipe us out without breaking a sweat. It would be like Cortez versus the Aztecs, except the Aztecs at least understood what horses were. But here's the first glimmer of hope. Would they bother? Interstellar travel, even for an advanced civilization, isn't free. It requires vast resources, time, and effort. So the question becomes, what could Earth possibly have that would justify an extermination mission? Let's examine why an alien species might choose violence over diplomacy. Resource acquisition seems logical at first. Earth has water, minerals, a biosphere, but here's the problem. Everything Earth has exists in greater abundance elsewhere, without pesky humans defending it. Water? Europa has more. Minerals? The asteroid belt is an untapped treasure trove. Even our biosphere, unique as it is, could be sampled and replicated without killing 8 billion people. The dark forest theory offers a more chilling motive. In this scenario, alien civilizations destroy others preemptively. Not out of malice, but cold logic. Any species might eventually become a threat. Better to eliminate them while they're weak. If this is true, they wouldn't come to conquer. They'd come to sterilize. But perhaps the most terrifying possibility is incomprehensible motives. What if they destroy civilizations for reasons we can't even understand? Religious obligations to a God we can't conceive. Aesthetic preferences. Maybe they find radio waves ugly. Or worse, what if destruction is simply their version of pest control, as casual and thoughtless as humans spraying an anthill? Dr. David Brin suggests another scenario. What if Earth's location is strategically important for some future conflict we know nothing about? We might be like Pacific Islanders in World War II, irrelevant to the conflict, but sitting on crucial real estate. So how would it begin? Forget Hollywood. No massive ships hovering over cities. No ground troops marching through streets. An intelligent invasion starts with our complete technological paralysis. Stage 1. Infrastructure collapse. Our satellites start failing. Not dramatically, just going offline one by one. GPS stops working. Communications fragment. The internet splinters into isolated local networks. Within 48 hours, our interconnected civilization becomes 1,000 confused fragments. No commands from leadership. No way to coordinate defense. No way to even understand what's happening. Stage 2. Atmospheric deployment. Nanobots, viruses, or chemicals designed to target human biology while leaving the ecosystem intact. We might not even realize we're under attack until people start dying. Dr. Jeffrey Landis from NASA calculates that with their level of technology, they could probably engineer a pathogen with a 99.9% fatality rate, transmitted by air, with a 2-week incubation period. By the time symptoms appear, everyone's already infected. Stage 3. Cleanup. Any human survivors face hunter-killer drones programmed to detect and eliminate human life signs. No negotiations. No communication, just methodical extermination. They might not even be present. The entire invasion could be automated, run by AI systems following directives from light years away. The U.S. military has run classified simulations of alien invasion scenarios. While the details remain secret, leaked portions suggest a consistent conclusion. Conventional military resistance would last hours, not days. Our jets can't fight what they can't see. Our missiles can't hit targets that exist partially in dimensions we can't perceive. Our nuclear weapons, humanity's ultimate deterrent, might be as harmless to them as firecrackers to a tank. But humanity has one advantage we often overlook. We're remarkably hard to kill completely. 8 billion people spread across every environment on Earth. Hidden bunkers, isolated islands, underground cities. To kill every human would require either planet-wide sterilization, which defeats the purpose if they want Earth, or a methodical hunt lasting years. This is where asymmetric warfare becomes our only option. Not armies facing armies, but the tactics that have frustrated superpowers throughout history. Guerrilla warfare on a planetary scale. Colonel John Alexander, who developed non-lethal weapons for the U.S. military, argues our strategy would mirror historical resistance movements. You don't fight their strengths. You exploit their weaknesses. They need supply lines. Even if those supplies come from orbit, they need communication systems. They need to sleep, eat, maintain their equipment, assuming they're biological. Every occupation in history has vulnerabilities. Our resistance would focus on survival and harassment. Hidden communities in mountains, underwater habitats, Arctic bases. We'd study their technology through sabotage and theft. History shows that technological gaps can be narrowed. Vietnamese farmers learned to shoot down helicopters. Afghan shepherds disabled tanks. Given time, humans would adapt. The biological factor might be our greatest ally. War of the Worlds got one thing right. Earth is a complex biosphere with billions of years of evolved microorganisms. Unless they've studied Earth extensively, their biology might be vulnerable to our diseases, or simply incompatible with our environment. Even their food supply could be a weakness. Do they need to import food? Can they eat Earth organisms? Every requirement is a potential vulnerability. But perhaps our greatest hope lies in making invasion economically unfeasible. Dr. Robin Hanson, economist at George Mason University, proposes the quotely resistance theory. If humans can make occupation expensive enough through sabotage, biological warfare, and constant resistance, even an advanced civilization might decide we're not worth the trouble. Consider the logistics. They've traveled light years to get here. Every piece of equipment, every soldier, every supply represents enormous investment. If humans destroy mining equipment, poison water supplies, irradiate territory they want to occupy, we raise the cost of their victory. At some point, even vast alien resources hit a limit. There's historical precedent. The Roman Empire, despite overwhelming military superiority, eventually abandoned Britain because the cost of occupation exceeded the benefits. The Mongols, who conquered most of Eurasia, never successfully held jungle territories because the environment nullified their advantages. Earth's diversity might be our salvation. Cyber warfare presents unique opportunities. Yes, their technology is advanced, but complexity creates vulnerabilities. Human hackers have penetrated systems designed by other humans. Given captured alien technology and time to study it, we might find ways to turn their own systems against them. A civilization dependent on AI might be vulnerable to AI manipulation. The psychological element matters too. Are they a hive mind or individuals? If individuals, do they fear death, feel guilt, experience trauma? Human history is full of occupations undermined by psychological warfare, making individual invaders question their mission, fear every shadow, dread every interaction with humans. This erodes effectiveness over time. Nuclear weapons, ironically, might save us through mutual assured destruction, not because we could destroy their ships, but because we could destroy what they came for. If invasion aims to capture Earth's biosphere or resources, we could threaten planet-wide nuclear winter. Thousands of warheads detonated simultaneously would render Earth uninhabitable for centuries. It's the ultimate spite move. If we can't have Earth, neither can you. Dr. Paul Davies, cosmologist at Arizona State University, suggests this might explain the Fermi paradox. Perhaps civilizations that can't be conquered peacefully are simply quarantined. Why fight a species willing to destroy their own planet rather than surrender? Easier to wait until they mature or self-destruct. But our greatest hope might be that we're simply not worth the effort. The universe is vast. Millions of planets probably exist without resistant populations. Why struggle with violent humans when empty worlds await? We might survive not through strength but through being more trouble than we're worth. This leads to an unsettling conclusion. Our survival strategy against hostile aliens might require us to become something they'd rather avoid, not through military might, but through sheer, stubborn, costly resistance. We'd need to convince them that exterminating humanity would be like trying to eliminate every cockroach in a city. Possible? Yes. Worth it? Probably not. Of course, this entire scenario assumes aliens think like us, that they value efficiency, avoid waste, respond to cost-benefit analysis. But what if they don't? What if extermination is religious duty? What if they enjoy the challenge? What if they have unlimited resources and infinite patience? Against such an enemy, our options narrow to desperate gambles. Broadcasting our culture, hoping something resonates. Appealing to whatever passes for their empathy. Demonstrating that diversity, even violent, chaotic human diversity, has value. Or perhaps proving that we're more useful alive than dead. 8 billion problem solvers. 8 billion unique perspectives. 8 billion potential solutions to problems they haven't even imagined. The darkest possibility? That no strategy works. That the gap between us and them is so vast that resistance truly is futile. That we're like ants trying to stop construction. Brave, perhaps, but ultimately irrelevant. In that case, our end would at least prove something remarkable. That on one small planet orbiting an ordinary star, life evolved creatures stubborn enough to fight gods. But until that day comes, if it comes, we continue, as we always have, building, learning, growing stronger. Because maybe, just maybe, when we finally meet whoever's out there, they'll discover something that makes them pause. Not our weapons or technology, but the simple fact that humans, faced with annihilation, don't just resist. We adapt, we endure, we survive. And sometimes, against all odds and logic, that's enough. The truth is, we can't know if hostile aliens exist until they arrive. But we can prepare. Not with bigger weapons or deeper bunkers, but by becoming the kind of species worth preserving, by solving our own conflicts, by spreading beyond Earth, by developing technologies that close the gap. Because our greatest defense against hostile aliens might not be fighting them. It might be becoming advanced enough that they see us not as pests to exterminate, but as a civilization worth knowing. Or at least, one dangerous enough to leave alone. The universe is vast and full of unknowns. Whether it holds friends or enemies, we'll face it as we always have, together, defiant, and absolutely unwilling to go quietly into that dark night. If this exploration of humanity's darkest first contact scenario left you pondering our chances, subscribe for more investigations into the profound and terrifying possibilities that await us among the stars. Watch What If Massive Alien Ships Appeared Over Earth Cities to see how humanity might react to a more ambiguous arrival, or explore the dark forest theory to understand why the universe might be full of civilizations hiding in silence. Until next time, remember, the best defense against an unknown threat is the relentless human drive to survive, adapt, and overcome, even against impossible odds.